Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, welcome to Symbiosis School for Online and Digital Learning. This is Dr. Sandeep Sharda. I'm going to go with the your module number 6, building relationship and trust among supply chain partners, under the subject of supply chain strategy. And this is today is 2nd March, and session is from 4 to 6 p.m. So welcome to again Symbiosis School for Online and Digital Learning. And a small introduction of myself. The three sessions already been taken by Dr. Sandeep Gupta, and this is Dr. Sandeep Sharda. I did my BTech in 1988 in mechanical engineering. Later, I was there for about 16 years in the industry sector, wherein I worked for SABIC Saudi Arabia, Reliance Industries, Chambal Fertilizer, and Astra Industries Limited in the core functional area of the quality excellence, central technical services, procurement, inventory management, project management, and maintenance planning. And after that, in 2009 and 2015, I did my MBA while coming in academics. 2006 onwards, I am working in the academics in management and technical education. And later, I did my PhD also in management with the topic spare parts inventory management with respect to the perspective to petroleum and fertilizer industries across India and Gulf. So, and there are four journal papers, three Scopus paper, three books chapters, three SSODL course materials, and three copyrights. And subjects which are of my interest are total quality management, operations management, supply chain management, supply chain strategy, procurement and inventory management, Lean Six Sigma, warehouse management, quantitative techniques, logistics management. So these are the a small introduction. While working in the industries, I have gone through the some of the cost savings also for the different area of the energy and reliability this management. And I have been also revised some of the practical based scheme syllabus and the courses for the management and mechanical program. So this is a small introduction about myself. Major content for the subject supply chain strategy is the module wise, that is criteria for the good supply chain strategy, past setting supply chains, that is module number 1. Module number 2, end to end supply chain management, right supply chain for your product, life cycle consideration for supply chain strategy, supply chain globalization and complexities of cost minimization strategies. These 5 modules already been covered by the Dr. Sandeep Gupta. Building relationship and trust among supply chain partners. That is a today's topic which we are going to discuss. Next generation organization and network design, next generation collaborations, next generation performance measurement, and innovations in the supply chain management and innovations award winning supply chain practices. These from module number 7 to 10, we are going to go in subsequent next sessions. Some of the recommended books which probably been also discussed by Dr. Sandeep Gupta. So that is Strategic Supply Chain Management by Cohen S. That is for McGraw. Successful Strategies in Supply Chain Management, Chan C. Lee H. Supply Chain Management is Rep Speed. That is Patterson J. CRC Press. Supply Chain Optimization, that is Rester S. Supply Chain Strategy, Fragile E. So I'm referring this supply chain strategy and some of the online material from the different sources. And one another book that is Supply Chain Management and Supply Chain Design, which are also, these are the two other books which I am also referring for this course. So by session objectives, understanding the role of the trust in the supply chain relationship, identifying the key drivers and the barriers to building trust in the supply chain, apply relevant models and the framework to assess and improve the suppliers buyers relationship, analyzing the case study to understand the successful trust building strategies and some MCQ based exercise will also carried out in between. So basics of the supply chain management and supply chain strategy. Just to go with the topic, this module number 6. Prior to that, we are going to go with the a basic concept and nomenclatures of the supply chain management as well as the supply chain strategy. Supply chain management and supply chain strategy are interconnected but distinct concept in the operations and logistics. Supply chain management focuses on the operational aspect of managing materials, information, and financial flow, while supply chain strategy is more about the long-term strategic planning of the supply chain to achieve the competitive advantage. Supply chain management is a comprehensive system that encompasses the coordination and management of all activities involved in the flow of goods and services from raw material sourcing to the delivery of the final product to the end of the customer. It integrates also and optimize the key components, functions, and processes to ensure the smooth and efficient operations of the entire supply chain network. Now, here I would also like to give a discussion based on the operations management and project management. So operations management, we also consider the similar way the supply chain management, which we are basically doing the practicing for movement of the materials from one end to another on day-to-day activities. And supply chain strategy, we can also consider as a project. So wherever we are going to have a say optimization of the network, maybe sourcing of the suppliers and the procurement, warehouse designing and warehouse occupying with the cost optimization and other key parameters which are going to be intended for the different type of your scenario for warehouse management and others. That while we are considering, then it is a part of supply chain strategy. So supply chain strategy, we can say it is a one time your the for the long term, the maybe for designing of the network and other things, or maybe in between also we are going for the some innovations or continuous improvement. So it can be related as a project management, as a event type of management or one time entity, and whereas the supply chain management is a regular system, regular process where we are going to keeping up the our demands to be fulfilled for the different customers based on the some productions, operations, or the services which are going to provided to the different customers in the supply chain. So that is we can consider as a your operations management, supply chain strategy. We can consider as your the project or the one-time entity or the project management. So supply chain strategy are methods or organizations used to control the movement of product and services from initial material gathering to the final delivery. So supply chain strategy is an approach to managing the network between the organizations and its supplier. Supply chain also manages the and develop the strategy with the primary goal of maximizing the value across all stages of the product cycle. We'll just go in nutshell. The oversimplified supply chain is with this diagram nomenclature, the delivery of of superior value propositions, quality innovations, value flow towards the customer, towards the downstream, from supplier, then supplier, buyer, and customer, and the it is from downstream to upstream demand for the low pricing customers, supplier integrations across a responsive supply chain which is flowing from the customer towards the suppliers. So value acquisition from the supplier, that is a part of suppliers to the suppliers. Value added in the production, that is your suppliers to the buyer, and value added to the distribution from buyers to the customer. So these are the some propositions as far as oversimplified supply chain management is concerned. Now, another is the complex supply chain, wherein you can visualize with this diagram that if there will be an automobile industry, so in the assembly line, there will be a different parts which are going to be added from the different area and different stages which are going to be there. So that's how it is going to be. It is like a multiple route of network diagram in the project management. In the similar way, the product which is going in the along the your assembly line, in which we are going to add many parts there in the automobile line or automobile assembly sections. So that's why it is becoming a more complex supply chain, because there are many parts which are also going to be produced simultaneously, which are going to be fit into the during the assembly line. So this is the both the view which we can visualize. Our simplified supply chain have the simple one route, and the complex supply chain has the multiple multiple network routes which are going to be go along with the main route. So if we'll just talk about the automotive industry example, the automotive supply chain are among the most complex, with components sourced globally, multi-tier suppliers, and intricate production processes. A single car model may require thousands of the component, each sourced from the different supplier worldwide, making real-time coordinations crucial. Another example, technology and electronics companies like Apple and Samsung sources raw materials and the component from the various regions such as rare earth metal from Africa and Asia, and rely on the advanced manufacturing facilities in multiple countries. Managing this requires high visibility across suppliers and manufacturing sites. Another example is in the pharmaceutical company sources active ingredients globally and must comply with strict regulations and standards which are going to be needed in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, examples of the objective of the supply chain management, if we'll just talk, so it is a cost reduction. As far as the regular process is concerned, in the supply chain management, it's a cost reduction, improve the customer services, efficient resource utilization, enhanced responsiveness, improved quality, risk mitigation, innovation, and collaboration. We'll also see the some of the examples based on these points with respect to the industry, and we'll compare it with the objective of the supply chain strategy. So we'll understand what is the supply chain management and supply chain strategy, what are the different area where the objectives are going to be governed. So objective of the supply chain management, first is the cost reduction, minimize the operational cost such as production, transportation, warehousing cost. For example, Walmart's efficient inventory management and logistics system helps reduce the cost and pass saving to the customers. Improved customer services, ensure timely delivery and product availability to enhance the customer satisfaction. Example, Amazon's same day and next day delivery services focus on the customer convenience. Efficient resource utilization, optimize the use of the resources like manpower, machinery, and materials. Toyota's lean manufacturing approach minimizes waste and minimize the resource efficiency. Lean manufacturing means that we are going to go reducing the wastage. Now, reducing the wastage means it is not the items which are not going to be used in the main manufacturing, but we are going to have a different wastage also. The time taken will be more. If it is overproduction, that is also we are going to consider as a waste. If it is a inventory staking, then also we are going to consider as a your the wastage. So these are the things which you are going to consider in the lean principles and the lean manufacturing management as far as the manufacturing industries are concerned. Enhanced responsiveness, quickly respond to the market demand and fluctuations. Jara agile supply chain enables rapid design, production, and distribution based on the current fashion trends. Improved quality, maintain high standard of the quality across the supply chain. Example, Apple's stringent supplier quality control ensures consistent product quality. Risk mitigation, identify and manage the risk related to the supply disruptions. Example, Intel diversifies its suppliers base to reduce the dependency and the risk. Innovations and collaboration, foster innovations through strong relationship with suppliers and the partners. Example, the Procter and Gamble collaborative planning with retailers improves the product availability and innovations. Now, if we'll talk about the differences between the supply chain and the supply chain strategy based on the some different aspects as far as definition is concerned, the supply chain, the network of the organization, resources, activities, and the processes involved in producing and delivering the goods. whereas the supply chain strategy is a long-term planning and aligning the supply chain operations with business goals to gain the competitive advantage. Here, the focus in the supply chain will be the day-to-day management of the material, information, and the finance flow. Here in the strategic supply chain planning on how the supply chain should function to meet the business objectives. If we'll talk about the time origin, the short to medium operation functions maybe day to day or weekly. And whereas in the supply chain strategy, we are going to talk long-term strategic focus, maybe year or more than a year. Objectives, efficient and cost-effective movement of the goods and services. However, in supply chain strategy, we are going achieving competitive advantage and aligning with the business strategy like cost leadership, differentiation, and responsiveness. Key activities are procurement, manufacturing, inventory management, transportation, warehousing, and distribution as far as supply chain is concerned. Whereas in supply chain strategy, designing the network, selecting the suppliers, deciding on the sourcing, logistics technology adoptions, and risk management. These are the key activities. Examples perspective, ensuring on-time delivery of the product and services to the customers. However, in the supply chain strategy, deciding between the lean and or agile supply chain based on market demand and the competition to get the competitive advantages as well as to reach to the towards the goal of the businesses. If we'll talk some of the examples with the industry-based scenario, manufacturing industry, automobile sector. If we'll just talk about the supply chain example, say company name Auto Drive Limited. Scenario Auto Drive Limited sources parts like engines, tires, and electronics from the different suppliers and assembles them as in the plant. The company ensures the components arrive just in time to minimize the inventory cost. Focus is efficient procurement, assembly line management, and timely delivery of the finished cars to the dealers. However, if you talk for the supply chain strategy with the same example, the strategy to Auto Drive Limited adopts a lean supply chain strategy to minimize the waste and reduce the cost. Decision, they partner with nearby suppliers for the critical parts to reduce the lead times and transportation cost. Additionally, they implement a vendor managed inventory systems to streamline the stock levels. Objective cost leadership through the operational efficiency. If we talk another example of the healthcare industry in the pharmaceutical supply chain, the company names a Medico Pharma, a pharmaceutical manufacturer. Scenario manages sourcing, production, and distribution of the raw materials to hospital and the pharmacies, ensuring that life-saving drugs are available when needed. Focus compliances, quality control, and timely delivery. If we'll talk about the same example with the focus on supply chain strategy, then Medico Pharma adopts a risk hedging supply chain strategy to deal with uncertainties in the raw materials availability. Decision, it diversifies suppliers for critical ingredients and maintain safety stock to prevent disruptions. It also invests in the cold chain logistics for the temperature sensitive drugs, objective ensuring reliability and risk mitigation in the supply chain. We'll also talk one another example for the retail industry, fast fashion. The company name is Trendy Wear, a fast fashion retailer. Scenario, a Trendy Wear manages procurement from the various international supplier, overseas transportations, and stock products in the stores quickly to match seasonal trends. Focus a rapid procurement and the distribution to keep up with the changing fashion trends. To talk the same scenario for the supply chain strategy, the key functions, the Trendy Wear adopts an agile supply chain strategy to respond quickly to the fashion trends. Decision, they use the real-time sales data to adjust production and distribution rapidly. Contrast with the flexible suppliers enables quick shifts in the production volume and responsiveness to the customer demand and minimizing the stock out and overstocking. That will be the final objective. If we talk about the model of a supply chain strategy, then there are two areas. One is the supplier relationship management strategy, that is confrontations, cooperation, coordination, and collaboration. To start with some confrontations, then it is that slowly it is gathering the cooperations and coordination, and finally it is leading to the collaboration, making a supply chain strategy, wherever the supplier relationship is very important as far as the production, manufacturing industry is concerned or service industry is concerned. Another will be the area will be the customer relationship management strategy. So that is the increase sales, promote customer loyalty, reduce the cost of the sales, reduce the cost of services, improve the operational efficiency, which finally converted into the results, the suppliers, sorry, superior business performance. That is the finally meeting out goal of the business through the supply chain strategy. So this is the one of the very basic model which you can understand for the supply chain strategy, in which there are two area where from the strategies are going to be formed in the for the supply chain, along the supply chain or supply chain management, that is with the supplier relationship, another will be customer relationship. So this is a small the basic model for the supply chain strategy. Now, if we talk about the supply chain strategy objectives, then it aligns the supply chain operations with the overall business strategy to gain a competitive advantage. Typically, the supply chain strategy includes the cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, agile strategy, lean strategy, sustainable strategy, innovation strategy, and innovation strategy and continuous improvement. So if we'll talk about the cost leadership strategy, it focuses on the minimizing the cost through efficient operations. Examples, Walmart cross-docking technique reduces the warehousing cost and maintains the low pricing. Differentiation strategy provides unique products or services that justify a premium price. Example, Apple supply chain ensures high quality innovative products that differentiate it from the competitors. Another is agile strategy, emphasizes flexibility to adapt to the market changes quickly. Example, Jara's supply chain can bring new designs to the stores within a week, responding rapidly to the fashion trends. Lean strategy reduces the waste and focuses on the efficiency. Examples, Toyota just in time and the lean manufacturing techniques, streamlining productions and minimizing the inventory. Sustainability strategy focusing on the environmentally friendly and social responsive practices. Example, Unilever sustainable sourcing and the waste reduction practices align with its corporate sustainability goals. Innovation strategy, prioritizing the new product development and technology integrations. Example, Amazon's use of robotics and AI in warehouses enhances efficiency and the innovations. Now, if we'll talk about what will be the finally the role of the supply chain strategy in optimizing the supply chain management. So it is basic objectives are basic role with regard to the objectives, the reduced cost, helps in supplier negotiations, lean inventory and logistics optimization, enhances efficiency, enables the real-time tracking, AI-driven forecasting and warehousing automation, improves the customer satisfaction, ensures the product availability, delivery and service quality, strengthens the risk management, develop the contingency plan for disruptions like pandemic or the raw material shortages, boost competitive advantage, differentiate a company through the supply chain innovations and sustainability practices. We'll talk about the supply chain strategy used by the Amazon. Then Amazon supply chain is renowned for its efficiency, speed, and customer-centric approach. Uh, we'll start with the fulfillment of the strategy, fulfillment of the center strategy, extensive fulfillment network, agility strategy, lean strategy, sustainable strategy, robust robotics and automation, proactive inventory management, and innovation strategy. We'll go just one by one and we'll see the examples also. So fulfillment by Amazon's strategy allow the third party sellers to use Amazon's logistic network for storage, packaging and shipping. How it works, sellers sends products to Amazon's fulfillment centers. Amazon's handles storage, packaging and delivery. Example, a small electronic business uses FBA, allowing customers to receive products with Prime's fast delivery. Another will be extensive fulfillment network. Strategy operates a vast network of the fulfillment centers globally. strategy located for faster delivery. How it works: over 175 fulfillment centers worldwide reduces the delivery time. Examples: Amazon's one day and the same day delivery in the urban area like New York City and the London leverages these centers. Also in India, in the many of the major cities, these deliveries are going to be in 1 or 2 days mostly. Proactive inventory management, predictive analysis strategy use machine learning to forecast the demand and manage the inventory efficiency. How it works: it is predictive analysis proactively identifies popular products and the adjust stock levels. Example: during the holiday season, Amazon pre-stocks items like electronics based on the predictive analytics. It can be observed and stocking could be carried out. Robotics and automation strategy automate warehouse operations to speed up processing and reduce cost. How it works: Kiva robots move the products in warehousing, optimizing the picking and packaging. Examples: in Phoenix, Arizona, Amazon uses over 3,000 robots to manage the inventory efficiency. Supply chain management strategies used by Amazon is agility in Amazon supply chain. The goal: respond rapidly to demand fluctuations and the customer needs. Key tactics: demand inventory allocations. How it works: uses the predictive analytics AI to adjust the inventory levels in the real time based, as we already discussed. Example: during the peak season, we are going this AI tools with the predictive analysis. It will um, pick up those demands which are going to be required during the peak seasons. Flexible fulfillment network that is operates over the 175 fulfillment center. That is what we discussed. Agile workforce management uses a mix of full-time, part-time, and seasonal workers to adjust capacity quickly. Example: temporarily hires thousands of workers during the holiday season to handle the increased order volumes. Innovations in the Amazon supply chain. The goal: use cutting edge technologies to enhance efficiency, speed, and the customer satisfaction. Key tactics: predictive analytics and AI, as we discussed, advanced or robotics and the automation, and blockchain for the supply chain transparency. Uses the blockchain to track product origins and authenticity, ensuring the ethical sourcing. Now, we would also like to discuss here along the supply chain, because of the variability in demand from the downstreams as it starts towards the upstream, how it is making impact towards the upstream. So we'll just discuss with this diagram that the customers at the end of your retailers, whatever the quantities are going to be sold, that retailers are going to go with those replenishment of those particular quantity. But at the same time, retailers will also go magnifying those requirements to the first supplier, that the whatever is the demand it is going to be expected for the tomorrows or the maybe the next week, that is are going to be slightly magnified as you see in this the graphical representation. So while magnifying this, the supplier one is corresponding to the retailer's magnified quantity, and at the same time the tier 2 supplier will also see that those quantities are going to be magnified by the supplier one, and those are going to be taken into consideration by the supplier 2 in the same way. So it is also going to magnify once again, and the supplier 3, the tier 3 is also again going to see the demand which are going to be there, which is also going to be magnified by him at the tier 3 suppliers. Finally, at the manufacturing warehousing, that particular inventory demand on a particular day or weekly basis from the tier 3 suppliers, which was already magnified maybe 2 or 3 times from the retailer's counter, that is are going to be taken into consideration. And because of that, the whatever the materials which are going to be taken into consideration, that those materials are going to be supplied on the next weekly basis or by next week and next day basis to the supplier 3. But at the same time, whatever the magnified quantities will be there, it is not going to be taken into consideration by the supplier 2. So that's why those particular quantity are going to be retained here. And similarly here and here. For the next cycle, these quantities are going to be retained, and it is further magnified if it's going to be a 4 or 5 days on a continuous basis, or 4 or 5 weeks continuous basis. Then maybe the requirement at uh, the manufacturing warehouse may becomes almost zero, maybe in the cycle of 4 or 5. Uh, that is, which are not going to be required at all. Any inventory which are going to be at a tier 3, tier 2, and tier 1, or maybe the retailers. That's how this magnifying that variability in demand from the retailers to the end of the, say, 3 or 4 this suppliers, or maybe retailers to the wholesaler, regional wholesaler, or maybe the your country wholesaler. That's how it is going to be there to the warehouse of the uh, company manufacturing unit. So this is basically it is, we are just considering for the one product. We'll just consider maybe it is a multiple brand and multiple products. Then we can definitely go with the so many of the inventory which are going to be means taken into consideration. Like example of Steel Authority of India Limited or retail warehouses, wherein we are going to have a single item with the so many of the different brand names, with the different products and different quality, different sizes. Then we can just consider and imagine how much is the inventory due to a small variability at the downstream, which are going to be leading into a towards the upstream very high demand on the one of the cycle, and another cycle the demand it is going to become zero at when it is starting from the upstream side. So that is we called as a bullwhip effect. We'll just also understand this with the a small numerical, and how this is being mitigated by the Walmart and other organizations. That also we are just going to consider how the supply chain to the last retail counters, to the your the manufacturing warehouse. It is also going to be streamlined with regard to the real time data from the retailers to the manufacturers warehouse. This that is how we are going to reduce those the variability in demand over the network of the supply chain. So just to understand that the this is also to understand that this in the supply chain management, the supply chain strategy play a very critical role while going for managing those inventory and the warehousing, as well as the distribution systems. That is very important while maintaining a very smooth supply chain over a period of time, not a single cycle. So that's how we are going to discuss that also. The another example, that is the Walmart, how it is going to be maintaining. So that is the retail counters of the Walmart, wherein the customers is the last point we will consider, where is the punching of that billing it is being carried out. So those particular your the inventory data, it is going to be fed directly on the real time basis to the corporate headquarter, wherein the different inventory controllers for the different your the uh, different commodity codes are going to be uh, uh, seeing that particular your the items which are going to be there depleting with those particular your the inventory levels. Now, at the same time, these retail counters, the real-time data are also going to be carried forwarded to the Walmart distribution centers, where from those retail stores or retail counters are going to be taken into consideration for those particular supplies. Now, these distribution centers are also, you can just notice, they are also going to be directly coupled, or maybe the real-time data, it is also going to be sent to the individual suppliers whom we are going to considering those particular set of commodity codes. Now, this information is also from the satellite communication, is also from the Walmart corporate headquarters, is also going to be sent to the point of the sale data, that is your the suppliers. Now, suppliers based on the your delivery of those particular items are going to be considered whether the inventory in transit or inventory is going to be started for those particular commodity codes based on the delivery time period, maybe 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, maybe 1 month, depending upon those particular nature of the delivery schedule, which have already been the among the suppliers as well as the corporate headquarters quarter already been finalized. Now, basis that the directly the real-time data which are being updated, the actions will be taken directly by the supplier. So it is point of contact from the customers to the supplier. It is directly will be there. Now, based on that, once these materials are going to be carried uh, at the distribution center, these materials are going to be carried forward to the respective retail stores with the shuttle services as it is going to be required. And finally, the payment, once it is going to be logged in to the retail counters, the data will be there updated. And based on that, the payment is also going to be processed from this corporate headquarters to the suppliers. So this is in nutshell to reduce the bulk effect of the in between the distribution centers and maybe it is the wholesalers and the retailers, the different retail counters. These data directly from the customers, it is going towards the supplier. However, the decisions are going to be taken into consideration from the corporate headquarters for maybe varying demand if it is going to be at all there over a period of time, or maybe wherever it is going to be required to be changing. So we'll just go with the one another example, the analyzing the varying demand in the supply chain management. In a simple supply chain, each organization holds 1 week's demand in stock. In other words, each buys enough material from its suppliers to make it closing stock at the end of the week equal to the demand during the week. Demand for the product has been steady at 100 units a week. 1 week demand from the final customers is increased by 5 units, making it as 105 numbers. Assuming the delivery is very fast, how does this affect the movement in the supply chain in the 6 weeks? Consider in the supply chain is customers, retailer, regional wholesaler, and the manufacturers. The hint for the formula for calculating the following demand, opening stock, closing stock, and buys. Demand will be equal to the amount brought by the next year of the customer. Opening stock at the beginning of the week will be the equals to the closing stock of the previous week. Closing stock at the end of the week which must be equal to the demand in the week. Buys will be the demand met plus closing stock minus opening stock. So we'll just see the example. So in the first week, for the customer demand will be 100. The retailer demand will be the same. Opening stock will be the first week the same 100. Closing stock will be the same. Buys will be the same. So for the first week, the demand to the local wholesaler, regional wholesaler, manufacturers will remain the same. Now, if the second week, the demand from the customer, it is going to be increased by the 5 numbers, the 105, then what will be the demand here? So it will be the 105 here. The opening stock will be the closing stock here. So it will be the 100. Now closing stock will be closing stock will be the demand met because we are going to expect the same demand in the next week, though it is visible here, but we are considering it is not visible here. So we are going to go with that particular closing stock. We have to maintain the 105. To maintain the closing stock 105, buys will be demand met plus closing stock minus opening stock. So 105 minus 100. So it will be 110. So we'll just see it with respect to each of them. The week two. Week two, the demand will be here. Demand will be 105. Opening stock will be 100 because it is a closing stock will be the same opening stock for the next week. And closing stock will be that whatever is the demand met. So that we are going to keep the demand is a closing stock. And for to keep that closing stock 105, we are going to buy the closing stock, sorry, demand met plus closing stock minus opening stock. So it will be 110. If we'll go to the local wholesaler, so demand will be the whatever is the buys will be there for the retailer. That will be our demand. Opening stock will be the closing stock. That is your 100 only. Now closing stock will be the whatever the demand met. So that is 110. Buys will be the demand met plus closing stock minus opening stock. So it will be 120. Now similarly, if you go to the regional wholesaler, same way 120, 100, 120 and 140. And to the manufacturer, it will be 140, 100, 140 and 180. We'll go to the next third week, the demand will be the same, 800. Then because of we anticipated the demand 105, and it is further reduces to the 100, same level. So it will be on the third week. We can just notice at the manufacturing level, the manufacturing will be required nil, and in the fourth week it is further enhancing and raising 160. Week 5 will be 60, and week 6 will be 105. So it will take, once there will be disturbances in the week 2, and due to the variability in demand and the bull effect, it is going to take maybe another 4 to 5 weeks to make it streamline again. So that is the one item we are considering. If we just consider maybe 100 number of different SQs, and under the each SQ maybe the 10 number of different variety, then we can consider there is a 1000 numbers. And for each number, if we are going to maybe vary with the 2% or 3%, then it is a huge the quantity variations which are going to be leading for the different weeks, as well as the cost also. So supply chain strategy role very crucial as far as the not only the inventory management is concerned at the different along the supply chain, but it also provides a very rigorous exercise with the supplier, as well as for the lead time and other things and transportation cost also, so that this competitive advantages at the same time, by reducing those inventory, optimizing those for the along the supply chain, or maybe the for the services also like Amazon and others are providing, that also going to be considered very specifically. And that's why the supply chain strategy role, a very crucial role it plays in the supply chain management. Now if we'll also talk about why we are going for this wholesalers and retailers. If you are not going with the without the wholesaler, what will happen? On the 4 distribution centers, if we just go to each of them, the 8 number of different routes, then it will be 32 routes. That is, we are going to without the wholesaler. If you are going with the wholesaler, then it will be a 4 plus 8, that is only 12 routes are going to be there, because from the each this manufacturing distribution center, we are going to go with that wholesaler, and wholesaler to the different distribution centers, that is the 8 numbers, so it will become the 8 12 to, that is 12 routes. That's why the wholesaler role, it is very crucial in the supply chain management. So at the same time that we cannot avoid the wholesaler, but there will be a the um, different distribution networks in which we are going to go with the direct to the customers, or the direct distribution center of the owners, as well as the your different wholesalers, the retailers. Now we are just going with a small exercise, MCQ based. Which of the following best defines the supply chain? A system focused only the manufacturing product, a network of entities involving a producing, delivering, and selling product, a group of warehousing for storing the finished goods, a financial strategy to maximize the profits. Anybody is there in the group? Okay. So what is the primary objectives of the supply chain strategy? Minimizing the labor cost, maximizing the inventory level, achieving a sustainable competitive advantages, reducing the marketing expenses. So C is the correct answer. Which company is known for its just-in-time supply chain strategy? That is the Amazon, Mahindra, Toyota, Big Basket. So Toyota is the correct answer. In the FMCG sector, which company uses an agile supply chain strategy to quickly respond to its market demand? In FMCG sector, the which company uses the agile supply chain strategy to quickly respond to its market demand? We'll see. Mostly the answer is ITC. Which of the following is the key differentiation factor in the service-based supply chain? That is inventory level, customer expenses, manufacturing efficiency, and raw material sourcing. Which supply chain performances matrices focuses on the fulfillment customer orders entirely and on time? Inventory turnover, order fill rate, return on investment, lead time. So B is the correct answer. So for fifth, the customer experiences, and fourth is the A, that is ITC. So this is the first exercise. Now, second exercise, which type of the supply chain strategy does Amazon primarily use? Lean, agile, hybrid, push. So hybrid is the correct answer. Which company supply chain focuses heavily on the local sourcing and freshness in the FMCG sector? Amul, Reliance Jio, Maruti Suzuki, Zomato. So Amul is the correct answer. Which company uses an omni-channel supply chain strategy? I think it is Walmart. Key criterion for the evaluating supplier: advertising reach, cost, quality, and reliability, location, attractiveness, social media presence. B is the correct answer. Which of these companies is known for its strong reverse logistics system? So it will be the Amazon, which are going to have the reverse logistics system. The bull effect can be minimized by increasing the lead time, sharing the accurate demand data, reducing the product variety using the single sourcing. Sharing the accurate demand data will be the correct answer. Now coming to the our uh, this module number 6 topic, that is building relationship and trust among the supply chain partners. So building a strong relationship and the trust among the supply chain partners is crucial for achieving the efficiency, resilience, and the competitiveness. Effective relationships are based on transparency, communication, collaborations, reliability, and the shared goals. So definition of the trust in the supply chain. The trust in the supply chain refers to the confidence and belief that the supply chain partners will act reasonably, reliably, and mutually beneficial. It involves the experiences, sorry, expecting suppliers, distributors, logistic providers, and the other stakeholders to meet commitment, share information transparently, and collaborate effectively to achieve the shared goals. We'll just talk about the trust. We'll have the combination of system-based trust, cognition-based trust, and relation-based trust. It will be joint policy as far as system-based is concerned, communication system, contracts, and the agreements. If it is a cognitive-based, the information sharing and the knowledge, and relation-based will be the thought and emotion process. If we talk about why trust matters, so trust is a critical in the supply chain network, influencing everything from procurement to delivery. When trust exists, it fosters collaborations, reduces frictions, and enables companies to react faster to change or disruptions. Trust becomes even more paramount in industries like healthcare and the food, where the stakes are high. Imagine a pharmaceutical company that relies on suppliers to deliver the raw materials for the life-saving drugs. If trust breaks down at the any stage, it can disrupt the production, delay shipment, and ultimately impact patient lives. We'll just go through this the figure why trust matters in the supply chain. So it is also showing that whatever the containers are going to be there, their shipping bills and their the met receipt will be same as those particular packaging list will be there, and these are going to be taken into consideration by the different shipment which are going to be aligned one by one. But these containers are already been positioned to load on those particular shipment which are going to be taken into consideration. So those particular trust matters, and those particular yours the shipment which have already been the shipping bills are made, and those particular shipments are going to be taken into consideration by those particular shipments. So if we'll just talk about, it is a matrix of performance capability and the commitment capability. The commitment capability and the performance capability, while going for the low and low, then it will be a limited trust. If it is going to be a high, then it is going to be a performance is also high, then the trust will be very high to each of them. But we are also going to require mainly that sorry, if it is a commitment will be low, then performance capability high, then maybe like in the shipment, the commitment will be low. So performance capability as far as the shipping bill are concerned, those are going to be prepared. But the mate receipt, once it is going to be loaded to the particular ship, may or may not going for that particular commitment. So that's why we are going to go for the collaborative trust in which the commitment capability will be high as well as the performance capability will be high. The shipment which are going to be already prepared with the packing list and the shipment billing, those are going to be the same met receipt with those particular captains in those particular ship. And those are going to be assigned in the same way. So that collaborative trust will be high once there will be commitment capability and performance capability will be both of will be high. And similarly, if the commitment capability will be high but the performance capability will be low, then the commitment to that particular shipment will be definitely the high, but the checking with those particular the shipment billing or shipment invoice with respect to the packaging list may or may not meeting those performance capability. That's how this the trust matters with the performance capability and commitment capability in that coordination as a collaborative trust. That is very important as far as the supply chain strategy is concerned or supply chain this management fulfillment is concerned. Now coming to the aspect, the same which you discussed, matrix commitment with the performance capability for trust building. That is, if we just go with the low quadrant of the performance capability and the commitment capability, then sales pitch will be strong performance is promised. However, delivers will be the supply chain partners fails to perform to the promises. Trust will be the poor performance and the perceived opportunities undermine the trust. Collaborations, neither the national nor the relationship for the collaboration exist. We'll just do the quadrant two, the performance-based trust. That is sales pitch. Strong transactional performance is promised, but no commitment to the future relationship are made. Deliverables, supply chain partners performs to short-term promises, but in reaction, resistant to commit more resources to the relationship. Trust, the essential foundation for the highest level of the trust, is in place, but breakthrough trust does not emerge. Collaboration opportunities for unique collaboration are overlooked. If we just go to the quadrant number three, the commitment capability high and the performance capability will be low. So commitment based trust, sales pitch, strategic relationship is desired and outstanding performance is promised. The delivered supply chain partners fails to perform the promises. Trust, this pro perceptions of the trustworthiness is violated, undermining the relationship future. Collaborations seek collaborations but are not willing to invest or accept vulnerability with the meaningful trust. But if we talk about the quadrant number four, which is a collaborative trust, sales pitch will be the outstanding transactional performance and the investment in the future relationship are promised. Deliverables, supply chain partners performs to the promises and works to build strong future relationship. Trust, high level of trust emerges in the form of the foundation for higher intensity relationship collaboration, breakthrough collaborations, opportunities identified and leveraged for the collaborative innovations and advantages. So as we see in the previous sheet, the example of your the export or import shipment in which we see the collaborative trust, if it is at all there, then the persons are not need to go every place for their till the shipment it is going to be put in to the ship where it is going to be exported, or if it is going to be imported, then also at the all these harbors we need not to go. The shipment will arrive at our the destinations where it was planned. So that's how it is going to be a the collaborative trust with the high performance capability and the commitment capability. which leads to the collaborative trust, which is both the this parameters equally responsible while going for this collaborative trust and in the as a part of supply chain strategy to meet the supply chain, the optimizing the supply chain and smoothing the supply chain with no disruptions as well as no failing commitments over a period of time. So type of trust in the supply chain, a detailed overview with the industry example. Trust can be classified into several types in the supply chain, each playing a distinct role in the ensuring the smooth and effective collaborations among the partners. The main types of the trust includes the competence trust, contractual trust, goodwill trust, information trust, and institutional trust. And another is the say process trust, competency trust, contractual trust, goodwill trust, information trust, institutional trust, and collaborative trust. We'll just go one by one and understand. Competence trust and definition. Competence trust refers to the belief that a partner has the necessary skills, expertise, and capabilities to perform the task effectively and reliably. Key elements: technical skills, ability to meet the quality and performance standards, operational efficiencies, consistently deliver on time and the within the budget, continuous improvement, investing in new technologies and skills. Example: Toyota and its suppliers. Toyota is a prime example of the competence trust. Toyota invests in its suppliers' technical skills and the processes improvement, ensuring that can deliver high quality components reliably. The trust built through its this competence enables just-in-time manufacturing, reducing the inventory cost and enhancing the efficiency. Impact enhances collaboration in the product development, reduces the quality inspections due to the confidence in the partnership ability. Another will the contextual trust, that the contractual trust is based on the belief that the partners will adhere to the formal agreement and the contracts, fulfilling their legal and the financial obligations. The key elements: the clear contracts, well-defined terms and the conditions, compliance, adherence to the legal and the regulatory standards, accountability mechanism for penalties in case of the breaches. Example: Apple's contracts for the Foxconn. Apple relationship with the Foxconn is characterized by the detailed contractual agreements specifying the quality standards, delivery schedule, and then penalties for the non-compliance. This contractual trust ensures that production timelines are met without compromising the quality. Impact minimizes the legal disputes through the clear expectations, provide a framework for the risk management and accountability. Now, another is the goodwill trust. That goodwill trust is built on the belief that the partners will act in each other's best interest even when the contracts do not explicitly require it. It emphasizes mutual respect, loyalty, and the long-term perspective. Key elements: fairness, sharing risk and the reward equally, flexibility, willingness to accommodate the changes without exploiting the weaknesses, uh, reciprocating the responding the positively to goodwill gestures. Example: Procter and Gamble and the Walmart. P&G and the Walmart has demonstrated goodwill trust by collaborating on joint business planning and the data sharing without rigid contractual mindsets. Their partnership focuses on the long-term gains rather than the short-term profits, benefiting both partners. Impact: the facilities collaboration, problem solving, reducing the opportunistic behavior in challenging situations. Information trust is the belief that the partners will share the accurate, timely, and the complete information necessary for the decision making. Key elements: the transparency, open the data sharing, such as sales forecast and inventory levels, accuracy, the ensuring the data integrity and the uh, correctness, confidentiality, safeguarding the sensitive information from minuses. Example: Walmart's retail links systems. Walmart share real-time sales and the inventory data which its suppliers through the retail link system. The transparency helps the suppliers plan production and logistically efficiently, reducing the stock out and the overproduction. Impact: improves the forecast accuracy and reduce the safety stock levels. enhancing the responsiveness to the market changes. Another is the institutional trust that is desired from the belief that the external regulations, industry standards, and the third-party certifications will ensure fair practices among the supply chain partners. Key elements: standard compliances, adherence to the ISO, ANSI, or the industry-specific standards, certification, independent verification by the third parties, legal framework, protection through the national and the international laws. Example: Starbucks and the ethical sourcing. Starbucks builds institutional trust through its cafe practicing practicing certification, which ensures the sustainable sourcing and ethical treatment of the suppliers. This third-party certification assures the partners and the customers of the environment and social standard compliance. This impact on the reduces the compliance risk and enhancing the brand reputation, builds confidence among the partners regarding the fair practices. Collaborative trust. The collaborative trust is based on the partners' willingness to invest in joint initiatives and share both risk and rewards. Key elements: joint ventures, co-investment in the new projects or the facilities, co-development, sharing R&D resources and expertise, risk sharing, assess agreement to the share financial and operational risk. Example: Boeing global supply chain. Boeing collaborates with the international suppliers on joint development projects for its aircraft components. This collaborative trust allows for shared investment in innovations and efficient risk management. Impact: accelerate innovations and the reduces time to market, enhancing financial and operational resilience. Process trust. The process trust involves the belief that partners will adhere to the agreed upon the processes and the standards for the quality, safety, and the efficiencies. Key elements: standard operating procedures, consistency in the execution, quality assurance, commitment to the defect-free deliverables, continuous improvement, ongoing efforts to enhance the processes. Example: McDonald's supply chain maintains the process trust with its suppliers through strict adherence to the SOP and the quality standard. Regular audit and the feedback ensures that suppliers' consistency meet the McDonald's expectations for the quality and safety. Impact: ensures the consistency in the product quality globally, reduces the process variability and the enhance predictability. Now, key benefits of the building trust in the supply chain: enhanced collaborations, strong trust facilities, seamless collaboration on the joint initiatives, risk mitigation. Trust reduces risk of opportunities, behavior, and the disputes. Operational efficiency reduces redundant checks and accelerates decision making. Innovations encourages shared investment in R&D and the new technologies. Sustainability supports ethical practices in long-term partnership. Now, importance of the relationship building the supply chain. A strong relationship in the supply chain leads to enhance operational efficiency, reduces cost, and increase innovation and the risk mitigation. Why relationship building matters: improves the communication and coordination. Partners can proactively address issues in the plan for the demand fluctuations. Enhance supply chain resilience. A strong relationship ensures flexibility and the mutual support during the disruptions. Reduces the transactions cost, fewer disruptions, dispute and the renegotiations lead to lower administrative costs. Encourages joint innovations, collaborative partnership, fosters R&D and D and the process improvements, ensures compliance and the quality control. Trusted partners adheres to ethical and regulatory standards. We'll just talk about the one example: the manufacturing industry, Boeing and the Sprint Aero Systems. Boeing partners with the Sprint Aero Systems to manufacture aircraft components. Trust enables collaborative design, quality improvement, and the risk sharing, helping Boeing streamlines production while maintaining high safety standards. Another case example: the service industry, Amazon and its logistics partners. Amazon's fulfilling the by Amazon, the program depend on the trust-based relationship with the logistics providers, UPS, FedEx, DHL. Reliable partnership ensures on-time deliveries, seamless inventory management, and efficient last-mile delivery, enhancing the customer satisfaction. We'll just talk about what are the key drivers of the trust in the supply chain strategy with the industry examples. So transparency, reliability, communication, competence, shared value and goals, long-term orientation, risk management capability, and fairness, integrity. So transparency involves the sharing information about the demand forecast, inventory levels, the production schedule, and the financial data across the supply chain. It reduces the uncertainty and enables the partners to make informed decisions, prevents the pull effect uh, caused by the inaccurate demand forecast, as we discussed. Industry example, Walmart uses a transparent information sharing system with its suppliers through the retailing platform, allowing them to access real-time sales data, shares orders and inventory data with the sellers on its marketplace to optimize stock levels and the delivery schedules. Reliability, consistency in meeting the commitments such as delivery times, product quality, and service standards. It establishes the credibility and the confidence between the supply chain partners, minimizes the risk associated with the delay and defective products. Industry example, Toyota, renowned for its reliable just-in-time system, ensuring timely delivery and the maintaining the trust with suppliers. DHL maintains a high level of delivery reliability in its logistics services, fostering trust among the customers. Another key driver is a communication, regular and open dialogue between the supply chain partners regarding the expectations, challenges, and the performed feedback. It prevents the misunderstanding and the align the goals across the supply chain, facilitating the quick problems resolutions. Industry example, Mahindra implements the supplier councils and the regular meeting to ensure the effective and communication with its vendor network. Hindustan Unilever Limited engages in the continuous communication with uh, distributors and the suppliers to streamline the supply chain operations. Competence, demonstrating the expertise, capabilities, and the efficiency in the fulfilling the supply chain roles. It provides the partners trust entities that efficiently manage the resources, technology, and processes. If we'll just talk about the industry example, IBM leverages its advanced analytics and AI capabilities to optimize the supply chain management, showcasing the competence. ITC also demonstrating the supply chain competence through its agile logistics and distribution network in the FMCG sector. Another key driver of the trust in supply chain is the shared value and the goals, alignment in the business ethics, sustainability practices, and strategic objectives among the supply chain partners. It facilitates long-term collaboration and that reduces conflicts. Partners are more likely to support each other in the achieving the common goals. Industry example, Amul practicing the shared value by promoting the fair trade and sustainability with its cooperative model. And Patag, Patangunga is aligns with the suppliers that adheres to the environmental sustainability practices. Long-term orientation, focusing on sustainable long-term relationship rather than short-term gains, how it builds, encourages investment in partnership development and the collaborative innovations. The example of the industry, Maruti Suzuki cultivates long-term relationship with its supplier by offering training and joint problem-solving initiatives. Procter and Gamble engages long-term partnership with the logistics providers to achieve consistent service levels. Now, coming to the what are the theories of the trust in supply chain with industry example. So first is the social exchange theory. It proposes that the trust is built on the reciprocal exchange of the benefits, resources, and information between the supply chain partners. It emphasizes mutual dependence and the balance of the cost and benefits in the relationship. The key elements of the social exchange theory is the reciprocity, exchange of the resources and information, mutual benefits, positive outcomes for the both parties, commitment, willingness to the invest in the long-term relationship. If we'll talk about the industry example, Walmart shared the real-time sales data with the suppliers through the retail link system to enhance the collaboration, the mutual benefit, and the trust also. The Toyota implements the just-in-time practices with the suppliers based on the trust and the reciprocal benefits. Another two these models from the research paper which I've taken. The trust it is going to build with the communication on the quality, the opportunities, behavior, the social dependence, and the financial dependence. So there will be trust and relationship satisfaction, which leads to the propensity to live and relationship commitment. Another example, also from the paper, social exchange theory, a critical review with the theoretical remedies have been taken. The desirable actions and desirable responses. So initiating actions and target responses. Undesirable actions, initiating actions, low justice, low support, high abuse, high absolute supervisions. The target responses, low trust, high CBW, and low OCB. So undesirable responses. So these are the two another models have been taken from the research papers as far as the social exchange theory is concerned. Another theory is the transaction cost economics. It focuses on minimizing the cost of the transactions between the supply chain partners through the governance structure and the contractual agreements. Trust reduces the transactional cost by minimizing the need for detailed contracts and the monitoring. The key elements is the asset specificity, investment in the dedicated assets, uncertainty, managing the risk in the transactions, frequency, regular interactions, fostering the trust. Industry example, Ford establishes the long-term contracts with the supplier to reduce the transactional cost and the build trust. Amazon uses the standardized agreements with the logistics providers to minimize the cost and uh, enhance the trust. Another model which have been taken from the paper that is the bargaining the cost, the search and information cost, the bargaining the cost, policy and enforcement cost, then transportation cost and transactional taxes. This is the another model taken from the one of the research paper. The third will be the resource dependence theory that suggests that the trust arises from managing the dependencies and assessing the critical resources controlled by other supply chain members. Emphasizes power balance and interdependencies. Resource dependencies theory is a theory that explains how organizations depend on the external resources to survive and function. It also examines how organizations manage their dependence on these resources. The key elements will be the resource control, access to the critical inputs, interdependence, mutual reliance between the partners, negotiations, establishing the trust through the balanced power dynamics. Industry examples, Apple establishes strong ties with the key components supplier like Foxconn to manage the dependencies. Amul balances power dynamics with the dairy farmers to ensure SPD milk supply. The one of the example from the one of the research paper that strategy for the trust in supply chain will be taken into consideration. Task environment connections, concentrations, munificence, and interconnectedness. Resource dimensions will be the importance and discretion and alternatives. So it will be coming as a your ASP for that strategy theories of trust in the supply chain as far as the resource dependence theory is concerned. Now coming to the MCQ based questions as far as SCS, SM, and SCS are concerned. Which of the following best analysis how social exchange theory builds trust in supply chain? By enforcing the strict contracts and penalties, by focusing on the reciprocal benefits and the mutual commitment, by minimizing the transaction cost and through the monitoring, by reducing the power imbalance through the governance structure. So I think the answer A is correct. First B, focusing on reciprocal benefits and the mutual commitment. How does ITC utilizes resource dependence theory to exchange the supplier trust? So by sharing the critical resources and managing the power imbalance. In the context of transaction cost economics, which parties practices by Amazon most effectively reduces the transaction cost and build trust? So utilizing the long-term contracts with the logistic partners. How does HUL builds the institutional trust in its supply chain? That is by adhering to the environmental and quality standards. Which of the following best examples explains the importance of the trust in the Toyota just-in-time systems, that is minimizing the inventory holding cost through the reliable partnership. Now coming to the another exercise, which theory of the trust best explains the big baskets reliance on the local farmers for the fresh products, that is social capital theory. What is the key driver of the trust between the Swiggy and its delivery partners? That is transparent performance based incentives. In the context of agency theory, which of these practices by Ola strengthens trust with the drivers? That is goal alignment through the incentive structures. Analyzing the social exchange theory, which practices by the Reliance Fresh builds trust with the supplier, that is reciprocity and the mutual benefits. Which element is the most crucial for building the trust according to the relational contract theory in the Amazon supply chain? That is informal agreement and the flexibility is the correct answer. Now coming to the theories and models of the trust in the supply chain. Trust plays a crucial role in the supply chain management by facilitating collaboration, reducing the transactional cost, and enhancing the operational efficiency. Various theories and models which we are going to discuss. The first is the Mayers Davis trust model in 1995, one of the most widely used as the framework. The background of the model is Myers Davis and Sucherum Suchermans introduced their integrative model of the organizational trust in 1995 to explain how trust develops between the parties in the business context. Unlike others models focusing solely on the interpersonal or the institutional trust, this model integrates the three key dimensions: ability, uh, Benlo, benevolence, and integrity, which forms the basis of the trustworthiness. This model is widely applied in the supply chain management to evaluate and strengthen trust among the suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, and the customers. Factors of perceived trustworthiness, ability, benevolence, and integrity. It provides the trust, that is another the model which we are going to. The perceived risk will be there, risk taking the relationship and outcome. So trusters propensity will also come into the picture on the trust. Is the process flow of the Myers Davis trust model. So characteristics of the model identifies the key attendants and antecedents of the trust and the trust process and the outcomes of the trust in the business relationship. Trusters and the trustees. The trust is the relationship between a truster, the one who's trust, and the trustee, one being trusted. So three factors of the trustworthiness: ability, supply chain partners perceive the capability or the competence to perform their role efficiently. Benevolence, the extent to which a supply chain partner has goodwill and the intents to do the good for the trusters. Integrity, the belief that a supply chain partners adheres to accepted the ethical and supply chain business principles. Now, step wise, the process of the trust development in supply chain, the trust building process in the supply chain follows the several stages. Initial assessment, evaluating the suppliers, vendors, or the partners based on the past performance, reputation, references. Creditability check, verifying the partner's ability, benevolence, and integrity through small scale collaborations. Trial transactions, engaging in low risk business transactions to assess the reliability and the trustworthiness. Relationship strengthening, increasing the commitment and the deepening the collaboration if positive experiences and repeated long-term partnership. The trust matures into a resilient business relationship leading to a mutual growth and the sustainability. Now, the model also suggests that trust leads to risk-taking behavior, which means the truster is willing to rely on the trustees, believing that they will act as expected. The outcome of this risk-taking behavior affects future trust levels, reinforcing or diminishing it. Risk-taking in the relationship, the truster decide to take the risk based on the trustees' perceived trustworthiness. Trust outcome, when the trust is established, it leads to the commitment, collaboration, reduced uh, opportunism, and the improved supply chain performance. Just an example of automobile manufacturing, Toyota just-in-time system relies on the strong trust with the suppliers to ensure the timely delivery and the quality compliance. Retail and e-commerce, Amazon's trust in logistics partners ensures smooth last-mile delivery and the customer satisfaction. Pharmaceutical industry, trust between the raw material suppliers and the drug manufacturers ensure regulatory compliance and the quality assurance. Oil and gas supply chain, trust among the stakeholders ensures efficient procurement, the risk management, it volatile market. So we'll just talk about one case study for supply chain strategy of the HUL based on the Mayers Davis Trust Model. Hindustan Unilever Limited, Industry FMCG, products, food, beverages, cleaning agent, personal care. The key practices, collaborative planning, efficient logistics, and the rural penetrations through the Project Shakti. Overview of the Myers Davis, that is it proposes that trust is built on the three key factors, that is ability, benevolence, and the integrity. This model helps understand how organizations like HUL, ITC, and DMART can develop and sustain the trust in their supply chain relationship. So application of the trust model, that is first is ability, skill, competence, and the characteristics enables a party to influence within a specific domain. Actual practices efficient distribution. HUL advances distribution network reaches over 8 million retail outlet in India. Project Shakti empowers the rural women to act as distributors, enhancing last mile connectivity. Technological integrations uses predictive analytical analytics for the inventory management and the demand forecasting. Examples, HUL uses a geo analytics to optimize distributions, route demonstrations, its ability to efficiently manage a complex supply chain, impact high ability based trust among the distributors and retailers due to the strong logistics and forecasting capabilities. Another will be uh, benevolence, the belief that the trustee has positive intentions and will act in the trusters' interest. Actual perspective, the support during the COVID-19, extended credit terms, and the ensured uninterrupted supplies to small retailers. Sustainability initiatives partnered with the farmers for the sustainable sourcing for the raw materials. Empowerment programs, Project Shakti, not only enhancing the reach but also improves the livelihood of the rural women. Example, by providing the financial support and ensuring the supplies during the crisis, actual demonstrates benevolence impact, high benevolence based trust among the small retailers and the suppliers. Now, third will be the integrity, the adherence to the set of the principle that the trusters finds the acceptable, the actual practices, the code of conduct, strict ethical standards for sourcing and suppliers partnership, transparency, regular audit, and the clean communications with the suppliers, compliances, adherence to the sustainability standards in sourcing palm oil and the other raw materials. Example, actual commitment to the sustainable sourcing reinforces integrity based trust and strong integrity based trust with the suppliers and NGOs also. Another example is ITC Limited, industry, the diversified FMCG agriculture, paper, board, hotels, products, packaged foods, personal care, cigarettes, agri-based. The key practices, agri-sources, sourcing through each opal and backward integration. Applications of the trust model in the ITC supply chain, the ability, the each opal initiatives, the backward integrations. Example, ITC each opal has reached over the 4 million farmers demonstrating its ability to manage the agriculture supply chain efficiently. And benevolence ITC practices, farmers support, provide the ergonomic advices, quality seeds, and the financial support to the farmers. Long-term partnership offers stable pricing contracts to reduce the risk for the farmers. Example, ITC commitment to inclusive growth by offering the fair prices builds benevolence-based trust, impact strong benevolence-based trust among the farmers and the agri partners. Now coming to the another model, that is Levicki and Bunker's stages of the trust, that is in 1996. This theory proposes the trust evolves through three stages: calculus-based trust, knowledge-based trust, and identification-based trust. Initially, the trust is based on the mutual benefits and incentives. The knowledge-based trust is over time, trust grows as parties gain predictability about each other, and identification based trust is as the highest level parties aligns their values and goals, reducing the conflicts. So this is the model that first is the CBT, and this is the KBT, which is rising here. Many relationship, a small relationship, and IBT will be the identification based trust, a few relationship, but it is a stable relationship. Application in the industry, big basket, e-commercial logistics, trust evolves with the fresh product supplies. Cement industry distribution, trust based relationship between the Ultratech and the bulk transporters. Petroleum terminal loading unloading, Reliance trust evolution with the tankers fleet operations. Case study introduction to the Levicki and Bunkers stage of the trust, the calculus based trust, knowledge based trust, and identification. Case, big basket, e-commerce, supply chain background. The key practices: efficient last mile delivery, inventory management through the dark stores, and the hybrid supply chain model. Challenges: perishable inventory management, timely delivery, and the trust with the customers and suppliers. So stage one, the calculus based trust description relies on the deterrence, formal agreement, and the cost benefits analysis. Big basket approach, formal contracts, penalties, and the transparency. Impact will be the establish the initial trust with the farmers and the customers through the predictable and the transparent processes. Now, second will be the knowledge-based trust, the description built through the repeated interactions and the predictability of the behavior. Big basket approach, the data analytics uses the customer purchase history to predict the demand and the manage inventory efficiently. Supply relationship provides the demand forecast to the suppliers, ensuring stable supply. Feedback mechanism implements the customer feedback loops for the continuous improvement. Impact enhanced trust by demonstrating reliability and the understanding of the customers and the supplier needs. Last will be the identification based trust, that is description, deep trust based on shared goals and the values. Big basket approach, shared goals, collaborates with the farmers for the sustainable sourcing and the fair pricing. Customer-centric policy offers the personalized recommendations and the loyalty program. Sustainability focuses on the reducing the plastic use and the promoting the eco-friendly packaging. Impact cultivated a strong emotions bond with the customers and the suppliers, leading to a long-term partnership. Now, challenges and recommendations for the improvement: handling perishable goods and the scalable operations without compromising the quality. Improvement the blockchain for transparent sourcing and the quality assurance, and AI integration for better demand forecasting and delivery optimizations. Now, another case will be the petroleum industry distribution, background industry, energy, petroleum, key practices, complex supply chains, safety regulations, and high capital investment, challenges, regulatory compliances, price volatility, and the supply chain disruptions. Applications for this model: calculus based trust, petroleum industry approaches, compliances, adherence strictly to the government regulations and the safety standard, contracts long-term contracts with the logistics provider and retail outlets, incentives, volume-based pricing, and for the retailers, impact build trust by ensuring the regulatory compliance and minimizing the risk for the partners. Second stage will be the knowledge-based trust, petroleum industry, real-time tracking. The uses IoT for the tracking shipment and the preventing the theft. Information sharing provides the demand forecast to suppliers and the retailers. Training the safety and compliance training for the logistic partners. Impact enhance the predictability and the reliability in the supply chain. Stage three, the identification based trust, that is petroleum industry approach, shared goals, the collaborates with the partners for the sustainable energy initiatives, brand loyalty, customer centric programs like fuel cards and the rewards, corporate responsibility, investment in the clean energy and the community development, and strengthen long term relationship based on the shared value. The challenges and recommendation for the improvement will the geopolitical risk and the sustainability concern, improvement diversification, invest in the renewable energy to reduce the dependency on the fossil fuels, and digital transformation, blockchain for the transparent transactions. So in nutshell, the summary for the key insights, calculus based trust for the big basket contracts, penalties and transparencies, and cement industry long-term contracts, incentives, petroleum industry compliances, contracts and incentives, knowledge-based trust, data analytics, feedback and loops. Here in the cement industry, demand forecasting, IT system, then real-time tracking and info sharing, identification based trust, shared goals, sustainability, customer centric policies, collaborative planning, CSR, shared goals based on loyalty and the CSR. A conclusion, big basket needs to enhance the technology integrations and the sustainability. Cement industry requires a better logistic optimization. Petroleum industry should focus on the diversification, energy sources and the products. Now, MCQ based questions. Which of the following best describe the ability component in Myers Davis and in the trust model? That is, the answer B is correct. The skills and the competencies that enables a party to influence supply chain positively. According to the Levesque and Bunker's stages of the trust, which stage focuses on the emotional bonds and the shared value between the supply chain partners? The answer two is C, identification based trust. That is the last stage. Which scenario best exemplify knowledge based trust in petroleum industry distributions? That is using the IoT and the track deliveries in the real time. That is your second stage. In big basket supply chain, which actions aligns the most with Myers Davis and the integrity component? That is the answer A is correct, offering the refunds for delayed deliveries. What is the primary difference between the knowledge-based trust and the identification-based trust in the Levicki and Bunker's model? Answer 5 is C. Knowledge-based trust relies on the past interactions. Identification-based trust relies on the emotional bonds. In Myers-Davis model, which of the following strengthens? The first is answer B is correct. Advanced AI-driven demand forecasting. How does calculus-based trust typically maintains in the cement industry supply chain? That is the by imposing the financial penalties for the delayed shipment, which trust stays in Levicki and Bunker's model would focus on the joint problem solving and shared strategies between the HUL and its distribution. That is answers C is correct. Identification based trust. In Myers Davis model, the company's investment in the ethical sourcing aligns in most with which component of the trust, that is integrity. Which practice model represents the knowledge based trust in the big basket, that is the big offering the demand forecast to the farmers. So this is the last. Which approaches aligns with the identification based trust in the petroleum industry, that is collaborative safety programs with the partners, How can cement manufacturers progress from knowledge-based trust to the identification-based trust with the dealers? It is by aligning the CSR goals with the dealers' communities. In Levy Bunker's model, which stage emphasizes the predictability of the partner's actions based on the past experiences, that is knowledge-based trust. Which of the following best demonstrate benevolence in Myers Davis model for severe supply chain, the offering financial support to the restaurant for partnering during the crisis. In the petroleum industry, which strategy can help the move from the calculus-based trust to the knowledge-based trust? That is five is A. That is developing joint contingency plan with the logistics partners. So finally, the session outcomes will that by this today's session, we understand the role of the trust in the supply chain relationship, the key parameters of the trust, and the key drivers of the supply chain. Trust in the supply chain relationship. We also understand what is the supply chain management, what is supply chain strategy, what are their different objectives, what are their different prospective roles or the functions which are going to be carried out, identifying the key drivers and the barriers of the building trust in the supply chain, applying the relevant models in the framework to assess the improved suppliers buyer relationship. As far as the behavioral theory practices are concerned, trust theories are concerned, analyzing the case study to understand successful trust building strategies and MCQ based exercise that we have carried out. Thanks a lot for patient listening for this session. And we've gone through the this building relationship, the trust among the supply chain partners. That is module number 6. I think we just close the now session. First, we'll just go with the stop recording.